Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As you can see by the title of today's video, my first vid on the builder. It's going to be a very informational one. It's going to be one that's a foundation for a lot of your guys' builds. It's going to be every attribute rating that you need for every badge in NBA 2K23. So, for this, I'm going to showcase like the levels as well. I'm not going to detail it super hard. I want to showcase, essentially just talk about, yeah, you need this attribute rating for Hall of Fame. You need this attribute rating just in general to even get it on bronze. The first thing to talk about, and to rewind a little bit right here, is that as you can see, even with 0 upgrades on your build, they have a lot of tier 1 badges available. For instance, if you look at the bottom right there, you have a very, very special badge in the past years that people love on bronze in Chase Down Artist, listed as one of the badges that you can have for 25 block rating. Now, I will say, I don't know if that's a good thing. I will have to see how like gameplay feels and stuff like that. And to be fair, I feel like chase down blocks do feel a little bit different in this game. I feel like if you don't have vertical, you don't have like just, I don't know, a good chase down like badge level. I don't think you can really get chase downs like that in the first place. But again, we'll have to see how gameplay feels. I've only like tested it very minuscule, so I'm not the one to give you the expertise on whether bronze chase down with 25 block will actually be good or not. Same with, I would never advise to just rock out with 25 block rating on a tall build just because you can get chase down artist on bronze. But anyway, to just kind of scroll through all this stuff, again, just wanted to give you a list of some of the badges that have like no requirements, or just what rating you need for some of the really cool ones. For instance, as you can see, we have 98 ball handle on this build. We still do not have handles for days on Hall of Fame unlocked. So again, we're gonna get into all this stuff. I go through very slow on every single badge and just detail it for you guys one by one. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, for to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on the noties, all the good stuff. And like always, let's try to, you know what, for this one, let's try to get to 1,000 likes in the first 24 hours. All right, I'm setting a pretty high like expectation and standard for the fact that this is like day 1 content and we have it early. That's like crazy. So there's 2 ways I could go about this. I could either play the video full speed and just show you guys, skim through everything, and you can pause the video whenever you want to. What I think I'm gonna do instead though is you can fast forward to whatever point of the video you're interested in. We're gonna be going from top to bottom, so it's just straight simple as that: finishing, shooting, playmaking, defense, and I'm gonna show them all one by one. So if you wanna fast forward to that point, feel free to, and you can just kind of digest wherever you choose to. Simple as that. But for the people that are truly dedicated and want to digest like this content super heavy because you don't have your hands on the game yet and you want to like be able to do deep dive stuff without having the game, what I want to do for you guys is I want to break down these badges one by one, showcase the Hall of Fame gold, silver, bronze, what ratings are tied into each badge and stuff like that too. So I'm gonna be talking a lot. I hope you guys know that. So this will probably be like a pretty long video, I would assume, but again, you can fast forward to whatever point that you want. Also, real quick before we get into the video, I want to let you know one thing. I'm not gonna be talking about the badge tiering in this video. I have a whole separate one that's gonna be uploaded probably like right after this, to be honest with you. I have a plan that I'm gonna post like probably 3 videos a day. So I'm recording these before embargo is lifted. So I just want to let you guys know, I'm not sure when exactly, but if I had to assume, I'm probably posting this day 1 as well, a little bit later at night. So anyway, the video that I'm talking about, I'm going to be showing badge budgeting, talking about tier systems and stuff like that, how tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 works, stuff like that, how you can kind of manipulate the system as well and get it to be in your favor. I'll talk about all that in a different video. But again, for this one, we're here to talk about every rating that you need for every badge or whatever level that you're interested in as well. So anyway, to start us off, we have Aerial Wizard. This is going to be for catching alley-oops and doing offensive putbacks as well on like O-boards, whatever the case may be. So as you can see, no requirements for the bronze. I'm not going to list them all out though. Like I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys 66 driving dunk or 67 standing dunk for like every single level. So just keep that in mind. But I do want to segment like what ratings are very important to be able to get these things. So for instance, like Aerial Wizard has nothing to do with your layup ratings or anything or your close shot. It's just going to be your standing dunk or driving dunk. So as you can see, 92 driving dunk or 93 standing for the Hall of Fame. Again, the tier system, it kind of varies, to be completely honest with you. Back down Punisher, once again, no requirements for bronze, and then it's going to be tied to either post control or strength. Again, you can kind of read as I'm going at this pace. It's very easy for you to do so. I'm sure you can digest it all like as I'm going, and I'm just talking over what ratings are tied to it and whether the bronze badge has no requirement or not. So anyway, then for Dream Shake, it's gonna be no requirements for the bronze, and as you can see, it's only tied to post control. For Drop Stepper, once again, only tied to post control, no requirements for bronze. 87 post control for the Hall of Fame. Very interesting. Moving along to Acrobat, I gotta say, a very multifaceted badge. As you can see, it's tied to like Euros, cradles, reverse, acrobatic layups just in general. It's for like acrobatic dunks as well, or I should say more so like hop dunks, spin dunks, whatever the case may be, to create separation on that, as you can see toward the bottom here. But anyway, requirements for it, you actually do need to hit a threshold to be able to get this on bronze. It can be 65 driving layup. As you can see, if you keep on moving forward, 84, 76, 94. Now before we get too deep into the video though, I do want to let you know, these tier 1s, tier 2s, tier 3s can be manipulated based on your height. That's what I learned. It's what's going to be mentioned in tomorrow's video as well, or later today's video, whatever the heck the actual concept of that is. But because that can be changed, I'm not sure if like on a different build, if Acrobat is in tier 1, if it becomes one that doesn't have to have any actual rating to achieve it. So just keep in mind, that's the only thing that's going to vary super hard with this, is the fact that in some situations this might be wrong as far as the bronze badges and the requirement for it. But anyway, long story short, silver, gold, and Hall of Fame will be 100% the same thing no matter what. Just keep that in mind. Moving along to Bully, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I will come back at the end of the video to maybe recap some of these badges that were height capped for this very small build right here. So as you can see, this one is, like I said, height capped. You have to be at least 6'2" or taller. So you can't get the badge if you're like a super small guard. It makes sense, you're not gonna be like pushing people out the way or anything like that. But again, I'll find different footage a little bit later in this video that maybe shows things like Bully and Rise Up. I don't think I'm lacking many badges on this build besides that. I don't think I'm limited in like shooting, playmaking, or defense very much for any of them. Maybe defense a little bit, but anyway. Like I said, we'll just recap to the back of the video and just kind of clean up a little bit on missed badges like that, because at the end of the day, this is just footage. It's a little bit harder for me to kind of manipulate everything because I'm not in the builder right now as I speak. I was in the builder 2 days ago. So anyway, Fearless Finisher, as you can see, it's tied to close shot or driving layup, and as you can see, has a couple different requirements. For Limitless Takeoff, this is going to be tied to just your driving dunk, and not to mention that obviously quick drops off one are going to be now 80 driving dunk. But for that matter too, I think a lot of people are gonna have a hard time with some of these tier 3s, bro, because like at some point, if you're gonna equip a silver badge for Limitless Takeoff and you're spending 6 points on it, whew, that's tough. And again, I hate to really like give you guys this information right now of all these badges and stuff without having told you some of the tricks and tips and stuff like that, but it's just how it's gonna have to be. I make very long videos, I break things down really extensively, so it just needs to be segmented into different vids. Just simple as that. So maybe bounce back and forth between the two videos. They're going to be very closely uploaded together, I promise you. So anyway, Slithery, you can see it's tied to driving layup or driving dunk. To get this on Hall of Fame, you need 98 driving dunk or 99 driving layup, which is definitely tough. I'll tell you that much for sure. And then the same thing with Posterize. You need 99 driving dunk to get this on Hall of Fame. But either way, Poster is only your driving dunk. For Pro Touch, it's going to be close shot or driving layup. As you can see, requirements listed right here. Pretty easy to achieve, actually, I would say. Like, it's a very easily achievable Hall of Fame badge. And maybe for guards, it actually will be very worth running, to be honest with you. Driving layup is looking pretty interesting. And not to mention, it forces your driving layup up, too, for even just upgrading only ball handle and three-pointer. It's definitely a new thing. But anyway, for Fast Twitch, same thing as last year. Close shot and standing dunk, it can be tied to either. Rise Up, like I said, is going to be height capped, so we'll come back to that at the end of the video, 100%. Post Spin Technician is going to be tied to your post control, very obviously. You can actually get it at Hall of Fame at 80 post control, so that's very interesting. Masher, as you can see, is tied to strictly close shot rating. So this is a badge that will work for your driving layups, driving dunks, but it's going to be only tied to your close shot. So it's definitely something to keep in mind in that aspect for sure. Even though it's going to help you in driving layup, driving dunk situations, just keep in mind that it's only tied to your close shot rating as far as the badge levels that you can achieve it on. For Giant Slayer, you can see close shot or driving layup. It's not going to be either of your, the same thing with this too. It's going to help you with your dunks, but as you can see, it's only tied to your close shot and driving layup rating. So just keep that in mind. That is all for the finishing category though. As we move on to the shooting, we have Claymore. This is going to be only tied to your 3-point rating. As you can see, this is for the spot ups. This is going to be a really key badge for those spot up shooters or just the lockdowns that sit in the corner. And again, only 3-point tied. For the most part, obviously every shooting badge is going to be tied to your mid-range or 3-pointer. So this one will be a little bit quicker. I'll just go ahead and kind of scroll through this a little bit more smooth. So yeah, for clutch shooter, you're able to get it with mid-range or 3-pointer. Pretty much, I'm just going to say like mid-range or 3-pointer. So comeback kid, mid-range or 3. Corner specialist only tied to your 3-point rating, 89 for Hall of Fame on that. Amp, you can see, is going to be tied to your mid-range and 3-pointer. This is one that I think for guards is going to be very interesting for sure, because stamina has been very tough to kind of manage, it seems so far, and definitely worth running if it's in the tier 1-ish for you. For tier 2 though, that might be tough to afford for sure. For catch and shoot is going to be tied to only 3-point rating. As you can see, pretty achievable for like the gold level for most lockdown level builds for sure. For most locks, I think you're not going to be getting Hall of Fame though. I think 93 3-pointer is not going to be achievable for most lockdown type builds or like role players. 93 3-pointer and Hall of Fame catch and shoots probably gonna be more of like a only shooting guard, like off ball mover kind of guy, or like a secondary ball handler that chooses to use like off ball badges or something. Agent 3, this is going to be for fading 3-pointers. As you can see, the requirement for this on Hall of Fame is going to be 96. Very important that they make this hard to achieve. That's for sure, like 100%. Because as you can see, like, I mean, we all know how fading 3-pointers went in previous years, and it was not good. Put it like that. Once again, blinders is tied to your mid-range or 3-pointer. In this case, it's actually 97 3-pointer to get blinders on Hall of Fame. So that's, again, very good that they're keeping it at a pretty high requirement to be able to get that type of thing. 94 mid-range as well. I think a lot of guards are going to struggle to upgrade their mid-range too, I must say, like 100%. Now, for limitless range, very good that they have a high requirement for even the bronze on this. 74 3-pointer, which obviously is not extremely tough to achieve, but the fact that you're going to be very limited to like a very limited amount of range for only having 74, really nice. And then same like tenfold with silver. As you can see, 85 3-pointer only gives you silver, 92 for gold, and then 99 for Hall of Fame. As you can see, Deadeye, same way, only 3-point based, and it's going to be very hard to achieve. So Deadeye and limitless range are your two badges in the shooting category that need 99 3-pointer to achieve. All right, so moving on to Space Creator, this is a really weird badge to me, where it's like, it literally is a playmaking badge in a shooting category where, like, yes, it helps you hit those shots as well though, so that's why it's listed as a shooting badge. But it says also like, if you read this, as well as cross up an opponent on step back moves. So that's really, really interesting that they pretty much have a playmaking factor in a shooting type badge. But either way, mid-range 3-pointer is what it's tied to. It's a very easily achievable badge. You only need 80 3-pointer to achieve it, or 80 mid-range for the Hall of Fame, like I said. Green Machine is also going to be tied to mid-range and 3-pointer. 91 3 or 90 mid-range for the Hall of Fame level, and 60 for the bronzes as well. Volume Shooter, and also, like I said, like as you're going to see in some of these categories right here, it says no requirements. That could change based on your positional value and stuff like that, where maybe something like Volume Shooters in tier 2 and Green Machines in tier 1 for some other build or something like that, and then that makes it so Green Machine has no requirements for bronze. Just keep that in mind, all right? That's all I'm saying. Volume Shooter, as you can see, very easily achievable as well. 80 3-pointer, 78 mid-range for the Hall of Fame level. Slippery off-ball, once again, extremely easy to achieve at the Hall of Fame level. And also, it's very nice that this probably will be listed as no requirements for most, like, inside big man builds. So if your mid-range is forced up to a certain level and you have, like, no badges that you'd want to equip, yet you have, like, 1 badge point, you're going to be able to put this on pretty easy. Midi Magician being probably the only one on this list that's only tied to mid-range. As you can see, 81 mid-range for Hall of Fame, 73 mid-range for gold. I mean, that's like pretty straight up easily achievable. So for the people that like the mid-range game, it's going to be very easily achievable for that badge to be put on. Alright, so moving along to guard up. I want to mention with this badge though, this sounds very intriguing as far as like the ghost contest stopper, so to say. So for those of you who know what I mean when I say ghost contest, essentially if you don't have your hand up in front of someone's face, yet you're standing in front of them, this badge is pretty much going to help people make shots against you because you're not putting your hand up. At least that's my impression as far as how it's worked so far and like testing the builder and stuff like that. But anyway, as you can see, 86 mid-range or 93 pointer to achieve this, and that is all for the shooting badges. And like I said, none of these are going to be like capped or anything, like height capped for like this 6'2" guard right here. So unfortunately I probably should have just made like a 7'3". I don't know, it's gonna be hard to tell all the height caps and stuff like that, so just be mindful of that when you're making your build, because I would have had to make all different types of heights to be able to just like get all the height caps listed. Because for instance, like, yeah, on a taller build I could have rise up, but then I wouldn't be able to have certain playmaking badges or something like that, or like certain shooting badges. So it is what it is. I feel like this kind of covered most of the bases anyway. So anyway, moving along. Handles for days. This is the one that I was talking about. 99 ball handle. That is not, it's not worth at all. Like, you can see a 6-foot guard with a 6'2" wingspan can't even get 99 ball handle. So I don't think you're gonna see a lot of people running Hall of Fame handles for days. I'll just put it like that, 100%. Same with mismatch expert. It's gonna be a tough one to achieve on Hall of Fame. I don't think it's gonna happen either. This one does happen to have it, but you need 98 ball handle for it. It's crazy, man. That is super crazy. Killer combos, once again, another one that's hard to achieve on Hall of Fame. So you're gonna have to really decide. Same with unpluckable, 95 ball handle. So you're gonna have to really decide if that high ball handle stuff is worth it or not for you, because as you're gonna see, like, and my bad for not even mentioning this the first time it popped up too, because I've known about this very heavily as well. It's really crazy, and I love to see it though too. So you're gonna see a lot of badges be tied into post control, and you're gonna see this next one too with quick first step. It's really crazy to me, so crazy. Check this out. All right, so we already talked about unpluckable. It's going to be post control and ball handle. We can understand why that's the case, right? Post scores didn't have any way of stopping people from stealing ball from them, so it makes sense that if they have a decent post control, they can have unpluckable. Now that's really weird and interesting to think about how it's gonna like intertwine, so to say. Like for the taller, like this is really good news. What you're about to see right here is really good news for tall dribblers, 100%, because this is a cool thing that your post control could be elite and you could still have Hall of Fame unpluckable on a build that maybe only has like 70 ball handle. So that's kind of cool and cool, like really cool to think about. But check this one out too. Quick first step is on some crazy stuff, bro. It's on some crazy stuff. So quick first step can be tied to 3 different attribute ratings, and as you can see, it's tied to post control as well. So again, if you make a taller build that has elite post control ability, like a 7-footer or something like that, that can get great post control, yet you want it to be an intermediate ball handler, but maybe you can't achieve 89 ball handle and 88 speed with ball, which is really weird that ball handle is now tied to quick first step. You're gonna see on a lot of my builds, you're able to get 89 ball handle on the build and maybe have like 76 speed with ball and still have Hall of Fame quick first step. So quick first step is by far the most like mind-blowing attribute like ratings that you can have tied into the badge requirements. For like this is the biggest part of the video right here, in my opinion, is going to be the unpluckable and quick first step debate, and how it can be influenced by not only ball handle but post control too, and obviously speed with ball. So that's definitely a big piece of news right there, 100% for a lot of different builds. Vice grip is going to be also, once again, post control or ball handle. So if you're, once again, a taller big man who doesn't have great ball handling, you're going to be able to have post control tied to it. So if you don't know what this badge is going to be doing, it's going to be more so like once you grab the ball on a rebound or catch the ball on a like slip or something like that, or maybe even a catch and shoot, something like that, makes it so you're harder to poke. So it's pretty much as simple as that. It also says off a loose ball too, so if you're tracking those down, it's a decent badge to have for those tall bigs. I don't think for guards it's really worth it, to be honest with you, but low key, hold on, because I just thought about that too. The fluke steals that people would call it from like last year's game. I don't know why I just blanked on that. 22 next gen and current gen in stage, like these dudes would press up on the inbound and they would wait for your guy to turn around and then boom, jab at the ball for the steal. I hope this badge actually helps that. That would be pretty cool, and maybe you would see guards run it on like bronze with the no requirements or something like that. Not to, I don't know why I even said no requirements, like that can't get it on freaking probably gold at the very least or Hall of Fame easily. But anyway, it is cool though that this is in the game for bigs, and I hope that does help guards in a way with that fluke steal on the stage stuff and stuff like that, and even in Pro-Am too. Moving on to special delivery, this is obviously only tied to pass accuracy, very easily achievable badge as well at the Hall of Fame level, only 77 pass accuracy needed. Moving on to post playmaker, as you can see, another very easily achievable badge, especially at the gold level too, I must say. 73 pass accuracy for gold, you can get it at 59 for silver, so it's definitely very doable. Needle threader, probably not worth running at the highest level by any means, and not to mention, I think this game is going to be harder to play passing lanes just in general on, but either way, 70 pass accuracy for silver, 86 for gold, 92 for Hall of Fame. Now, this is a badge that I think is going to be very slept on. As you can see, ankle breaker for most like guard builds is going to be a tier 1 badge. Not to mention the fact that you only need 81 ball handle to have it on Hall of Fame, and because it's a tier 1 badge, you're going to be able to get it for 4 points on Hall of Fame. So, ooh, that's going to be interesting to see. That's for sure going to be interesting to see. But anyway, break starter, you're going to be able to get it at Hall of Fame with 86 pass accuracy. I think for most bigs, again, realistically, it's going to be more of a gold badge, I would assume. And then, as you can see, for silver, it's like 65 pass accuracy. So, silver goldish, I think. Hall of Fame's a little bit much to expect. Dimer, very affordable as well, I must say. And again, I've seen it in tier 1 for a lot of guard builds. And to be able to get like Hall of Fame Dimer for 4 badge points, that's crazy. And 85 pass accuracy is all you need for it too. So I think a lot of guards will be able to achieve that Floor general, again, tied to pass accuracy only, and you're going to see 86 for Hall of Fame, 79 for gold, 68 for silver, I think. Bailout, you're going to see is a little bit harder to achieve than anything. Like I said, Dimer was 85 pass accuracy, but bailout on Hall of Fame is going to be 94. I love that they hear the feedback, man. I love that they hear this stuff because, as you can see, like the requirements for it are quite a bit extensive for sure. Maybe for bronze, it's not that bad. We'll have to see how it functions on bronze. I feel like it's always been a great bronze badge in the past. But anyway, hyperdrive also tied to ball handle and speed with ball. So it's very interesting that you can get quick first step and hyperdrive with just ball handle and not have to worry about speed with ball at all. Now, I don't know how that means your build's going to perform if you have really, really garbage speed with ball with great ball handle. But either way, the two things that make you move faster with the ball in your hand, downhill and just in general with a quick first step, I mean, literally, like, it's tied to ball handle. You can literally just have it for that. Clamp breaker. This one is like a little tough to understand of a badge. As you can see, improves a player's ability to fight off contact, protect the ball, and drive by opponents as the ball handler. So it's like, it sounds to me more like kind of a slasher badge, so to say, in the playmaking category, obviously, because as you can see, like it literally says and drive by opponents as the ball handler, and then protect the ball, and then improves ability to fight off contact. So just in general, like obviously, yes, it's for like the clamp breaking aspect of it, getting people off of you, but to me it sounds a whole lot more slasher oriented. I don't think a lot of outside guards are gonna be rocking that. Like, you're gonna run these three any day over clamp breaker probably. So anyway, then like I said, handles for days, we already showed. 99 ball handle. That is tough, man. That's gonna be real tough. Also, as we get into the defensive category, I was about to say, and then I cut the video, I was gonna say the only badges that are height capped in the defensive category are anchor and brick wall. That can't always exactly be the case. Obviously, some could be height capped in the opposite way for sure. So like you could be too tall to have a certain badge, and not to mention too, like don't take what I say with that and just assume that is the case, because what I mean by that is, I mean, for this 6-foot build right here that we're showcasing, the only two badges that are like height capped and that we can't get are gonna be anchor and then brick wall. Also, I'm not sure why I did it, but I just went in and like edited the build a little bit just to get a couple badges to like pop up and like, you know, have some color on it and stuff like that. So anyway, again, anchor, gotta be at least 6'4". Box out beast, like I said, for a lot of guards, this is gonna be a badge that has no requirements on it at all. Now, let's talk about it for like the sake of big men, right? Because we're not here to just talk about guards just because it's a guard build. We're here to talk about those big man badges too. So you need 94 offensive rebound or 94 defensive rebound, or you can see another thing it's tied to is going to be strength. So strength being tied to box outs can be pretty cool if you want to be someone who maybe doesn't have as elite of rebounding ratings. I think a good example of this would be if you're someone who's trying to be an elite slasher and you wanted to upgrade strength for getting the bully badge, yet you didn't upgrade your rebounding to an elite level. You're maybe a wing who has like 70-ish rebounding. You're still going to be able to get box on a really high level. It's just you're probably not going to be an elite rebounder in terms of securing it, because rebound chaser will obviously have different requirements. Brick wall, have to be at least 6'5" or taller. I love hearing that for the little big man that I'm having in mind, because I'm at least going to be 6'6" for that, so that at least reaches that cap. Chase down artist, as you can see, 59 for silver, 75 for gold, 88 for Hall of Fame, so very achievable on the Hall of Fame level. And again, for most builds, it's going to be no requirements on bronze. Ankle braces, very affordable, attainable, and very worth badge if you ask me. For a lot of people, it's going to be in tier 1 for a lot of people, trust me on that when I say that. But as you can see, 86 perimeter D, 76 for the gold, and then like 67 for the silver, 55 for bronze too. Same with menace, kind of the same thresholds as well, and it's only tied to perimeter defense. Challenger, again, only tied to perimeter defense. This is going to be for perimeter contest as well, as you can see. So this is one that a lot of like elite locks, you're going to definitely want to have 95 perimeter D for. And then for clamps, that's coming up right here. I remember 100% it's 97 perimeter D for the Hall of Fame. And I'm just putting it like this. I think a lot of elite locks are going to want to be in that 95, 97 range for sure. And it's affordable. It's very like doable. I forget how tall you have to be to no longer be able to get 97 perimeter D, but I know for a fact 6'5s can definitely get it. I forget about 6'6s and 6'7" like builds, but I'm sure that'll be in a different video as well. Now, this is something that I loved seeing. It was really interesting to see. So, you know what's funny too? I mentioned a lot of times that like 2K probably watches my videos and hears my feedback. I literally said this word for word, bar for bar. I was like, they need to up the requirements on this badge by like 1 threshold each. So I literally said this bar for bar. I forget what video it was, but I said gold should be 90 steel, Hall of Fame should be 99 steel, and then I think gold was around this. Like gold in 2K22 Next Gen was around 78 steel or like 80 steel. So they literally did exactly what I was saying, and I love to hear that. But obviously, last year, 90 steel was Hall of Fame Interceptor, and that's what made the 6'9" glitch metric so crazy, was it was able to achieve that, and it was able to have Hall of Fame Interceptor. So if you want to be, and you're going to see as I scroll over to glove right here too, if you want to be an elite playmaker on defense and getting steals, as you can see, glove requires 95 for gold. It's crazy. So if you want to be a playmaker on defense, you have to have 99 steel. It's as simple as that. If you want to have Hall of Fame Interceptor, Hall of Fame Glove, gotta have 99 steel. Point blank. Simple as that. So workhorse. It's gonna be tied to your interior D or perimeter D. This is pretty much hustler in a sense. And as you can see, it's pretty achievable on like a lower level. Like it's very easy to get on bronze, silver, I would say even gold. I think Hall of Fame is maybe, I don't know if a lot of builds are gonna have 82 interior D or like 86 perimeter D. To be fair, like most lockdown type builds or like centers will definitely be able to achieve this 100%. For the guards though, it's probably more of like a low level type thing. And it's a good badge for guards too, 100%. But anyway, pick dodger only tied to perimeter defense. Gonna be once again in that 95, 97 threshold where like you want to have that 97 perimeter D if you're gonna be like a fight through lock 100% and getting things like challenger, clamps, pick dodger, all that stuff. But anyway, again, only tied to perimeter D. Now, for rebound chaser, this is kind of the same thing it's always been. It's just a little bit higher requirement for like gold, silver type stuff. So you still need 99 on either offensive or defensive rebounding to get in on Hall of Fame. And this will change tiers too. Don't get me wrong. It is not a tier 1 badge for like taller centers. And we'll talk about that in tomorrow's video too, how you can like manipulate stuff like that. But anyway, 93 for the O or D board now. I think it was 91 last year. So a little bit of a change, but nothing too crazy. Again, offensive and defensive rebounding based. Post lockdown, strictly interior defense as it's always been. 93 for Hall of Fame. It just, you know, not a huge badge that I'm a like gigantic fan of or anything, but we'll see how it plays this year. So for pogo stick, this is going to be also tied to your rebounding too, and for a lot of builds it's very cheap this year, I must mention. So as you can see, tied to block, O board, and D board. Just whatever of those 3 that you get to the threshold that it meets, that's all you need. Simple as that. So off-ball pest is going to be strictly perimeter defense, I'm already knowing, and 65 perimeter D is all you need for that too. So that's crazy. It's definitely very achievable, and I think they did that obviously because a lot of guards are probably the ones that mainly run it, or maybe backside defenders, stuff like that. So if you're like a tall center and you want to play around with off-ball pest on Hall of Fame, you could probably get it for very cheap and very like manageably done. 65 perimeter D is not hard to do, obviously. But anyway, that's off the video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, feel to drop a like, sub if you're new to them, noties, all that good stuff. Let's try this one to 1,000 likes in the first day. I'm really trying to go hard with this content on like now that the embargo is lifted, and I'm telling you, we're gonna be posting like 2 to 3 videos at least a day until the game comes out, because I'm trying to get you guys all the information that you need for your builds so you can study up on stuff like that and know what to expect when you hop in the builder. Save a ton of time, save a ton of money too, off of the fact that you know what you're getting yourself into, and boom, like I'm trying to just be the dude who's getting all that stuff out for you guys. So anyway, it's off video. If you made it to the end of the vid, feel free to sub if you're new too, because I know a lot of new viewers are going to be here for this like little content stint that we're doing. But not to mention, if you made it to the end of the video and you want to show your support that you made it all the way through here, let's put badge in the comments to show your support to me all the way through. Anyway, that's off video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Like I said, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, all that good stuff. On that, stay tuned for more. Take it easy, man. Peace.